Having recently quit my corporate finance job of 5 years to pursue my passion here on YouTube, my spending habits have drastically changed. And while we are preparing for a new year, this is an excellent opportunity to stop some of our poor spending habits, especially as it comes to some of these consumerist trends that are just getting out of hand. Snack items. Now, I was absolutely shocked when I saw the top 100 items that we buy at the grocery store. When we look at this, there are maybe 3 essential items in the top 10, with fresh produce barely making it in the top 20. And don't get me wrong, I will definitely eat a cookie or two. And for those that have seen my cinematic masterpieces, the door to my fridge is definitely heavy. But we need to be honest with ourselves. Besides eggs and maybe the dairy products, none of these items are actually needed in our lives. We have turned random treats into a necessity. So let's take a moment to pause and look inside of our shopping cart and see what actually is providing us value. What is actually necessary as it provides us enough joy to consume? I think what you will find is that there's quite a bit of items that you have been buying just out of habit, and it no longer serves its purpose. Excessive streaming. The average American watches 4 hours of TV a day, totaling over 28 hours a week. And while it was ironically created to get rid of the cesspool that is cable, streaming services are becoming the very thing they swore to destroy. Almost all platforms have ads, unless you want to pay to get rid of them, and are even reducing the quality as a way for you to upgrade. And as these services continue to increase their subscription cost, this offers us an excellent opportunity to be able to break through the resistance of just having it charge you every single month. It gives us an opportunity to set intention on what it is that actually provides value in our lives. If we look at a streaming service and it provides a lot of value, great, that's money well spent. If not, go ahead and cancel the subscription and put the money towards something that's going to provide value to you. Guilt tipping. They say 66% of Americans are unhappy with the tipping culture, and 1 out of 3 people feel pressured to tip. And yet, the average hourly wage for a server is $10, and for most of these places, they have to share the tips throughout the staff. And as someone that has actually worked in the restaurant industry for over 3 years, I have very mixed feelings on the tipping culture. So I actually want to take a different approach to this. When I worked at a Chinese restaurant during high school, it was actually very rare for me to get paid on time, so much so that there was even months that I would go without getting paid. So I was entirely dependent upon the tips. However, there were many situations when I found so much value or enjoyed a conversation so much with a person that by the time they went to give me some cash for a tip, I actually told them to keep it, as I had valued what I had gained from that experience much more than just what $5 could give me. And the reason I mention this is because I want to highlight the feeling pressured aspect of tipping. Ultimately, I totally get it. They turn the screen over and they say, "Can you answer a couple questions?" or something like that. It's so silly, and you just quickly tap on the overinflated tip and you just move on. But as the emphasis is to regain control in our life, we need to be able to take control of this situation. And so I say, instead of us just trying to get through it as quick as possible, what if we actually slowed down and we just took a moment, if the situation allows, to actually be able to talk with the person? And more than just chatter, to actually ask them about something important in their lives, or to just give a helpful piece of wisdom. I found when I was on the receiving end of that it's something that I still remember to this day. And so maybe instead of just tipping some random number and then going to your table and feeling upset about it, you can actually take the initiative to be able to spark the reason why you should tip them 15 to 20% or whatever the case may be, to see what is the benefit that both parties can receive from this. New anything. I personally believe that because interest rates have been as high for as long as they have, that companies are going to be more focused on reducing things as a way to show maximum profitability. And what I mean by this is typically what the company would allocate towards research and creating new advancements of the product that you would be buying. They're actually going to be marketing the same things that we've always had in a new way to still allure the buyer. So while I personally don't ever think it's a good idea to buy the new car, buy the new phone, buy the new thing every single year it comes out, I think that this shows that there's an even bigger reason why. Because ultimately, the likelihood that the price tag increase from the quality increase is not going to make any sense whatsoever. I think that this is an excellent time that we can sit back and reflect on what items we actually own and how long we can use these items for. A couple of bucks. This goes back to a very common habit that I would see with my clients at the bank. If you think about something that's very expensive or we put a lot of value on, typically either we don't want to say the price or we say it was $30,000. It was $3,000. It was something that we put emphasis towards. However, whenever it's a minuscule item or something that doesn't really mean a lot to us, we say, it was just $5. It was just $20. I want to mention the fact that I've said multiple times on this channel. The average American spends $18,000 a year on non-essential items, spending over $100 alone on impulse purchases. And with this video being centered very much on intention, I want to highlight the fact that we need to give respect to our money, because our money for most of us is the most direct relationship we have with our own time. And as we begin to see the value in our time, we begin to see everything almost in the reverse as we do now. We begin to see easily what we want to put our time towards, what we want to set intention in our lives, as it's not just a few bucks, it's now our time that we are spending. Not valuing the experiences that are free. Since the pandemic, many of us have been choosing to prioritize experiences over physical items. With Forbes reporting, more people are planning to travel in 2024 despite the costs. And while I believe that this is absolutely great, I also want to throw in the importance of valuing the free experiences. And I honestly have been thinking about this quite a bit as we are arriving in the gift-giving season, as we typically just buy people some item as a way to fill the social hole that you actually care, when in reality, there is a plethora of free things that we can give or do that gives tremendous value. Some of my favorite experiences are the walks with my friends, or recently sharing recipes with my uncle, or losing at board games with my girlfriend. And I wanted to share this as just a gentle reminder to not ignore the free experiences and to let those moments actually fund the luxury that is traveling. And as I wrap up just this fun little consumerism video, I want to share some insights that I have learned in the 6 months it's been since I quit my job. I've hardly spent any money that wasn't dedicated towards essential items. Maybe eating out 5 or 6 or 7 times. But what I've learned is that through each one of those experiences, it provided me an immense amount of joy. A poke bowl that would have been when I was working at the bank was just a poke bowl. But now when I go and I eat one, this is a celebration. I've been able to do something in my life that I can really enjoy this meal. Since I have that resistance, I guess, of money, I don't want to say it's a scarcity mindset, but as I have a bit of resistance, every time I decide to jump over that, it's like a whole nother world out there. I haven't spent any money on anything towards myself. However, I did buy 3 pairs of pants, but it was off of the tail end of me selling half of my wardrobe to be able to afford those. And now every time I wear them, I am so grateful that I have them in my life. There's something about reducing things to be able to see with clarity what actually provides a lot of value in our lives. So I don't want to take this to an extreme, but I kind of want to offer a light challenge of maybe in the description below or the comment section below, mention what are a couple things that you're going to try to reduce or eliminate in your spending habits this upcoming year as a way to be able to set more intention in what it is that you want to do. Thank you guys so much for sitting with me, and I hope that it provided some sort of value to you. I really appreciate it as always. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Whether you thrift or wear custom made, whether you're bad or well behaved, fashion saves. Living fast and on the edge, goody two shoes, moms and mains. Fashion saves.